Hi, everybody. Mitch Dannabam here. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to talk about, just for a few minutes, pretty quick, cryptocurrency and the risks associated with it. It's kind of the hot topic these days. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's either doing it or knows somebody who's doing it or heard about somebody who did it, made a bucket of money. And there certainly are stories of people who made a lot of money from cryptocurrency. But the other side of that is there's a lot of risk. And if you're dealing with somebody else's money and you don't care much about the risk, that's one thing. But if you're dealing with your life savings, which some people have been fleeced out of, that's a bigger problem for sure. So let's talk about that. I'm going to share my screen here for a second. Let's just talk about, to start with, crypto crime. So crypto crime falls into a whole bunch of different categories, and I'll talk about the different categories in a little bit. But right now, we're about to set actually, we are on a record. We have set a record. So number one, over $2 billion have been stolen in crypto this year. A lot of that belongs to North Korea in their Bybit hack. And I just saw an updated number from this one, which is close to 2.5 billion already. By the end of June, we were 17% higher than we were in 2022, which is the previous record year. And now personal wallets, assuming you're managing your own crypto, are becoming a bigger and bigger problem. So, crypto wallets are just software, and software represents a problem. I'll talk about that in a minute too. But the bad guys, and this is a different kind of attack, the bad guys are using very low-tech crime. So heard about one this morning where two guys kidnapped somebody who was into cryptocurrency. And they said, basically, either you unlock your phone and give us access to your crypto, or we're going to kill you. Pretty simple choice. Uh, which is, in this case, that cost him $500,000 in crypto. And I guess he could afford that. I don't know. But it's called a wrench attack because at least some of these bad guys don't use guns. They just used a threat of a pipe wrench and said, if you don't unlock your wallet, we're going to beat you up. So, that's the way that is. It's global. And obviously, at some point in time, you need to try to get it out of the crypto world into the, traditional fiat currency. And that's hard to do, but it's certainly doable. On the other hand, if you don't do it right, you increase the likelihood of you getting caught by the cops. So it is important to do it right. Here's one hack alone, right? $300 million. There's a lot of these. Here's a handful of other ones. Let me scroll up to the top here. DMM 300 million was Xerox 230 million, Radiant Capital 50 million, BingX 40 million. So this is happening all the time, and just the nature of that beast. And you can kind of see here by this chart is the incident of loss, both by the count. Let's see if I can make that bigger. You have to make it bigger. Both by the count of incidents and also by the incident type. So we're seeing here, the amount of money that is compromised by compromising crypto wallets is extraordinary. And that's because the security on crypto wallets is pretty low. Exit scams is another one here in the middle. Exit scam is where somebody creates a crypto coin, they pump up the value through social media and whatever, and then they just dump them and watch the market crash because the market really didn't exist for it. So it's an interesting challenge. A couple of specific kinds of attacks are smart contracts, which are crypto-related contracts, software-related contracts. Here are a few of the attacks. The DAO attack, 60 million, a Parity Wallet, 150 million, flash loan attacks in 2020 is another one. Let's see, I'm looking for ones that have numbers on them. The Ronin network attack in 2022, 600 million. The Euler finance attack, 200 million. And these are just some examples. And then in the crypto wallet side, this goes all the way back. You can see this goes back to 2014, Mt. Gox, which was a Japanese crypto exchange, and they lost about 850,000 bitcoins, and that's billions of dollars today. If you think about, in fact, maybe more than billions. If you think about how much a coin is worth these days. And here's another one, 500 million, another one, 600 million, 600 million. The problem with all this, besides the sheer magnitude of it, is the fact that there's no insurance for it. And you're hoping that the people that wrote the software, whether it's the crypto exchange software or whether it's the wallet software, are not spoofing you, that they don't have an intention to commit fraud. You have no way of knowing whether or not this piece of software that you downloaded to talk to their crypto exchange is legit or not. And we see a lot of just plain vanilla phishing attacks where, they send you an email, whatever, or we've seen romance scams that use this where, they get someone to pretend like they, want a romantic relationship with you. And really all they want is your crypto wallet key. Or better yet, they want you to voluntarily hand over the crypto to them because you're the trusted intermediary. So no insurance, no government guarantees. Under this administration, it's even less and less regulated than it was before. And it wasn't particularly regulated before. So, when these attacks happen, you are likely to lose money. And even if you don't lose money, ultimately you were likely to lose access to whatever you have. Because typically the first thing they do is freeze withdrawals when one of these attacks happen. So even if you still have your money, you can't get to it. Maybe the investors in the crypto will make you whole. We've certainly seen that. Others where we'll give you 30 cents on the dollar, 40 cents on the dollar in terms of what you put in there. So all of a sudden now, you thought you had your retirement set, and now, half of it is gone or more than half of it's gone. So I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying make sure you understand the risk of what you're doing before you make these commitments, because if you don't understand the risk, then the likelihood is that, if something bad happens, you're going to be left holding the bag. And these scam artists don't care. For one thing, a lot of them are not in countries that are friendly to the United States. Occasionally they get really stupid and they come to a country that's friendly to us. We saw, I think France was just arrested someone. But for the most part, they're smart enough to stay out of countries that are likely to be friendly to us. And that even assumes that they being us, the Department of Justice, know who the bad guys are and, can issue a warrant or a red notice. So just be careful. I think that's the message here. And don't invest in anything that's more than what you can afford to lose. So that's all I have about that for now. Until next time, stay safe.